Very good morning, students. Today class I am discussing about a concept called concurrent forces and equilibrium of concurrent forces. Let us see first the definition of concurrent forces. What is that? The number of forces acting at the same point on an object is called what? Or are called concurrent forces. So, if an body only one force is acting, we are not discuss about the concurrent forces. But if an object, the forces are acting are more, or all forces that are acting on the body is said to be concurrent. Let me clear about that. What are concurrent forces and what is equilibrium? So I am taking an example. So what the example is? Small example. A book placed on a table. For example, this is a book that is placed on a table. Now, this book having mass m exerts force on the table, right? So, this is the force direction that exerted by the table, that is F is equals to mg. So, the force exerted by this book on the table is mg in downward direction. As in the previous class, we said that Newton's third law. What is that? For every action, there is equivalent opposite reaction. The table also exerts the same force in opposite direction, means at this point. Then what happens here? The net force is 0. F1 bar plus F2 bar is equals to 0. That implies what? F1 equals to minus F2. So, if both forces are equal in opposite direction, then the body is at rest. But we are not discussing about rest. What are the forces acting here? Two forces are acting. One, the weight of the book acting downwards, and the normal force exerted by the table on the book. So, how many forces we are getting here? Two forces. Those two forces are called what? Concurrent forces. In the same way, let us take a simple pendulum. Okay, having length L. Now, by applying a small force, it starts to oscillate. Let us take a position. Okay, at this position, what are the forces acting on it? See, its weight mg is acting downwards. Okay, this mg is resolved on how many components? Two components. One horizontal as mg cos theta, vertical as mg sin theta. And tension, when you fix it to a fixed end, a force that has been developed inside the string, that is called tensional force. Tension acts upwards. Right? Now, how many forces are acting here? See, tension, mg cos theta, mg sin theta, and force. So, here, all these forces, what are forces acting here? Tensional force, external force, and weight. So, these three forces are acting on a body, so that these three forces are called what? Concurrent forces. So, simply we can define as what? Number of forces acting at the same point and an object are called concurrent forces. If you take an object, there are several number of forces acting on this body. Those forces are called what? Concurrent forces. Now, what is equilibrium? We said that equilibrium, when there is no change in the state of rest of uniform motion of which the forces act, the body is said to be in equilibrium. So, for example, on a book, I am applying three forces, that is F1 in this direction, okay, F2 in this direction, F3 in this direction. So, on this point, object, I applied how many forces? Three forces. Here, F1, F2 and F3 are called concurrent forces. F1, F2, F3 are called what ma? Concurrent forces. Okay na? Yes. Now, for these concurrent forces when a body is set to equilibrium. See, we said that the resultant should be 0, right? So F1 and F2, these two are the forces acting at an angle, right? Yes. Then leave over this one. The resultant of this one is what? F dash or F1 dash. Now, if F1 dash is equals to minus F3, then the body is said to be in equilibrium or not? Means, if F1 plus F2 plus F2 is equals to what? Minus F3. The result of these two forces is what? F1. If F1 is equals to minus F3, then what happens? The net force acting is 0. From this we can write as F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar is equals to what? 0. So we can define the equilibrium as what? A body is said to be equilibrium if the resultant of all concurrent forces acting on it is equal to 0. If F1 dash is not equal to F3, then the body is not equilibrium. If F1 is greater than F3, the body moves in this direction. If F3 is greater, the body moves in the direction. If both are equal, the body cannot move anywhere, so the body is in equilibrium. So we can define equilibrium as what? A body is said to be in equilibrium if the resultant of concurrent forces acting on it is 0. See, that is, a body is said to be in equilibrium if the net forces acting on it is 0. So that is what? If n forces are acting, then what we can write, ma? F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar and so on plus Fn bar is equals to what? 0. So by using this law of equilibrium, we have some laws are there. First one is what? Law of triangle of forces. Law of triangle of forces, right? So what is law of triangle of forces? That is one of the application of equilibrium of concurrent forces. So what it explains is a very simple thing. So if there are three coplanar forces acting at a point, can be represented both in magnitude and direction by the three sides of a triangle taken in some order, then three forces will keep the point in equilibrium. Let us see how it can be happen. So we should consider how many forces? Three forces should be placed in such a way that having magnitude and direction placed in one order. What is the order of triangle? We know very well that tail to head method, right? Yes, let us take first one A. Let us take that. This is starting from here. This is AB. The force acting is what? F1. Then join BC. This is F2. Next, same way, this is CA. That is what? F3. So we started from A. This is the direction of force. B connected head to tail. The force acting is F2. Same way, F3. Now if you arrange it in this regular order, then what they are saying that the point at which it is acting is equilibrium. Means it can be again reread as yes, this is F1, this is F2, this is F3, right? So let us assume that the three forces are acting at a point O. At a point F1 is directly proportional to distance. What is the distance here? F1 is directly proportional to AB. Similarly, F2 is directly proportional to BC. F3 is directly proportional to CA. So, combining all these three, what we can write? The statement as F1 by AB is equals to F2 by BC is equals to F3 by CA. So that the net forces acting at point O is 0. So, the body at point O will be in equilibrium. So, this is what? Law of triangle of forces. So, if you know this one, we can easily find out the force acting on the other end. Okay? If you know F1, F2, can't you calculate F3? Or if you know F1, AB, BC, can't you calculate F2? So, we can easily use this formula to calculate the force acting or length of the column, anything, right? Next one. There is one more application of equilibrium of concurrent forces. What is that is, if three coplanar forces acting at a point keep it in equilibrium, then each force is directly proportional to sine of angle between the other two faces. For example, the same application we consider. Previous only we make the body in equilibrium, right? By applying three concurrent forces, F1, F2 and F3. So, if these three forces are acting at this point, then we said that the body is in equilibrium. Let us consider the angle between F2 and F3 is alpha, F1 and F2 is gamma, F2 and F3 is beta. Okay. Now, what is the statement? They said that if three coplanar forces acting at a point keep it in equilibrium. Okay. We consider three forces. We make the body is in equilibrium. Now, then each force is directly proportional to sine of angle between the other two forces. Then each force is directly proportional to sine of angle between the other two forces. You say that F1 I have considered. F1 is directly proportional to what? Sine of angle between the other two forces. What is the angle between the two forces F2 and F3? Alpha. So we should consider sine angle, that is sine alpha. Next, in the same way, F2 is directly proportional to beta. So that is sine beta. F3 is directly proportional to sine gamma. So we can write this as F1 by sine alpha is equals to F2 by sine beta equals to F3 by sine gamma. So this theorem is called what? Lamè's theorem. That is, if three forces makes a body in equilibrium, then force acting, each force is directly proportional to sine of angle between the other two forces. So the law is what? Lamè's theorem, that is called F1 by sine alpha is equals to F2 by sine beta equals to F3 by sine gamma. Okay? Application of concurrent forces or equilibrium or forces acting on a body. Okay? Forces acting on a body. Assume a lift. In that lift, it is tied to a fixed ropes, right? Fixed ropes. So, in these ropes, because they are fixed to one end, there exists which force? Tensional force. And the lift is having some weight, and the weight is acting downwards. Now you say that if both forces are same, means the tension in the lift is equals to weight. Can the lift move? No. We already said that when two net forces acting on the body is 0, then the body is at rest. So now, if it is moving upwards, first condition I assume that when the lift is moving upwards, with an acceleration, uniform acceleration A. How is it possible? By applying some external force, we are uplifting the lift, so it is moving upwards with an acceleration A. So if it is moving upwards means, what is the resultant? Tension minus mg, right? Because the net force acting on the one is what? T is acting upwards, mg is acting downwards. So it is moving upwards, so T should be greater than mg is equals to what? F. What is F? MA. From this, T is equals to minus mg sent here, mg plus MA. What is common? T equals to m into g plus A. When the lift is moving upwards, the tension in the string is more. For example, you are standing in the lift. Your weight is W. Your apparent weight is what? W. Then what is your apparent weight? More or not? So apparent weight is W dash is equals to m into g plus A. Here tension is equals to what? Weight. Weight is equals to what, ma? M into g plus A. Okay? Next. Now the same point we can write as when the lift is moving downwards with an acceleration A. Assume the condition that this same lift having a mass m, it is coming downwards with an acceleration A. As usual, tension in the string will be there. That is always acts upwards. Now, which is more? Weight is more. So, mg minus T is equals to ma. Because the downward force is more than upward force. What is the downward force? Mg. What is the upward force? Tension. Mg minus T is equals to ma. From this, mg minus ma is equals to T. That implies T is equals to m into g minus a. This is when lift is moving downwards with uniform acceleration A. Next condition, when lift is moving with uniform velocity. When a lift is moving with uniform velocity means what? Velocity is constant, acceleration is 0. Means what? It is moving with uniform motion. Tension is acting upwards, mg downwards. Net force acting on the body is 0. T minus mg is 0. That implies T is equals to mg. Means what, ma? Here W dash is equals to m into g minus a. Apparent weight decreases. Here W dash is equals to W means what? Apparent weight is equals to actual weight. Next, last condition, when the lift is freely falling means it is falling under acceleration due to gravity, means there is no tension in the wire. The wire cut off. When lift is freely falling, means what? A is equals to G. Freely falling now. Mg minus T is equals to Ma. Then Mg minus T is equals to Mg, because A is equals to G. Mg minus G is equals to Z. Mg minus Mg is equals to what? 0. Apparent weight is equals to what? 0. Means you feel weightlessness. Means when the string break of the lift, you feel weightlessness. When the same lift is moving upwards, you feel more weight, or your weighing machine reads more weight. When lift is moving downwards with uniform acceleration, it shows less weight. When it is moving with uniform velocity, it shows actual weight. So, based on the direction of applied force, the apparent weight will changes or the tension force will changes. So, this is one of the application of what? Concurrent forces or resultant forces. Thank you, students.